IVM.
Dating.
Tash, you want to start us off?
On what dating is? Well, actually, when I was a kid, I used to think that when you grow up, सब date ही कर रहे हैं. You're chilling in clubs, you're chilling in bars, chilling in coffee shops.
Friends. I thought my life was going to be friends. I will say it out loud. It's problematic now and it has a lot of issues that we have now found. But I thought my life was going to be friends.
Basically, मैंने भी यही सोचा था. I will be chilling hard with friends all day long and people will be hitting on me constantly and I will be going on date after date.
Exactly.
Cut to adulthood. ऐसा कुछ नहीं हुआ. Because that's not how it works, especially in a country like ours where what is dating? Is it even a concept? My parents used to talk about their pre-marriage relationship. They used to call it courting. They were courting.
Or seeing. They were seeing each other. This is my parents' way. They're seeing each other.
क्योंकि मेरे सामने वाली खिड़की में एक चांद का टुकड़ा रहता है ना.
I can see her.
सब seeing हो रहा है. Yeah, so this whole thing of dating, I never really fully understood it, or I had a very media colored view of it. Like, what exactly is it? And also the idea of casual dating was never like a thing which I thought about. It wasn't an option. मैं छोटी थी तो मुझे लगा अच्छा dating होगा, फिर ना शादी करेंगे, फिर बच्चे करेंगे. Straight. I will date boys and then I will fall in love with them also.
And you'll have babies with them.
Yeah, sadly, this was my dumb brain thinking these dumb things.
But I don't think it's your dumb brain. I think it's, first of all, a lot of what's around us that makes us think the way that we do. That's a categorical reasoning for most of the way that we approach life, job, profession, everything is because of this external stimuli. A. B, however, with dating, I still feel like you said this casual dating, it still doesn't happen in India as much as we like to believe it is. In Bombay, we, in our little very modern, postmodern Indian life, we think that casual dating, it's so cool and we're all doing it now. We're very Western.
But it's
not really like that, because at the end of the day, when you date multiple people in a small social circle, the first thing that people say is, oh, she's dated a lot. Or he's seen a lot of girls. No, she's dated a bunch of people. What the fuck does that mean? She's dated a bunch of people. Obviously, it is a
trial and error process.
It's a numbers game. Yeah. Who is lying to you? I want to put this out there. Everyone who tells you that you land up with the first couple of people that you meet, that's a lie. It is a numbers game. You have to kiss a lot of frogs before you find a prince, princess, gender neutral, royalty, whatever you want to call it.
Exactly. I am one of those people who need to learn this because I am very much of the belief, call me old school if you will. I am very much of the belief कि कोई मिले उनसे प्यार हो जाए फिर जिंदगी भर उनके साथ रहेंगे.
I personally request you never to give anyone dating advice.
I don't. I refrain from doing any such thing, which is why today you will give all the tips. I am not going to give any tips to our listeners. I will quietly just...
A fun side fact, whenever I come to Tash for not exactly relationship advice, but I'm just talking to her about something, her advice is, it's so annoying because it's like this, you just have to really breathe and you have to be really conscious of yourself and your surroundings. And my question to her has usually started with, but bro, he texted me this, does this mean he wants to hang out?
Bhai.
And this is what she says. So please, means...
I don't understand these signals and these games people play. Actually, you know what? Now that you brought up this whole texting thing, he's texted me and I don't know when to meet, whatever. All these games that people play in and around the name of dating.
Right.
Can we please address these games and tell people to stop playing them? Or is it fun? I don't know. I've never enjoyed them personally.
I think that maybe this links to what I was talking to you about earlier, the tropes. That I've come up with these 5 tropes.
Ayushi is a genius, friends. Just listen to me for 1 second. She has made some amazing observations about 5 tropes, which she will tell us about.
So, given my experience in the dating world, which, I mean, it's not little, but it's not huge. I think it's somewhere in the middle in terms of relationships, dating, online.
Ayushi is a mid-level dater. College grad, mid-level dater.
Yeah, I need to move up to the next level, to the next... but anyway, we'll see. So I thought there are 5 tropes in dating. Trope 1, you text, you hook up, you try to date, but fail to launch. Then the next trope is, you text, you hook up, you date, you have a relationship, life interferes, the end.
Oh yeah.
Then there's the third one, which is you text, you hook up, the end. My personal favorite is number 4, which is you text, failure to launch.
The end. This is my life.
You text the person and you realize, nope, it's not going anywhere. But the 5th one, which is you text, you date, you have a relationship, possible long-term commitment, engagement, marriage.
Bas yahi media ne becha hai hame, and this is what I had followed as a child.
Exactly. But see, out of these 5, 4 of them are actually quote-unquote end in failure.
But what is...
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not calling it a failure. I'm saying they end with the people parting ways. So what I'm trying to tell people is that this is what I mean by dating as a numbers game. Out of the 5 tropes, only one leads down the proverbial aisle.
Yes.
So you have to be okay with the other 4. And those are natural, normal, and go through all your relationships. You will find that they will fit in one of these 4 or 5. If you're married, probably 5.
Something or the other, though, you must have learned from all the quote-unquote failed relationships. Failures, yeah. But this I actually came to understand about this numbers game when I first ever decided to just put myself out there.
Okay, so we're talking about putting yourself out there.
But in relation to... Wait, I want to give them a little context of my life as a teenager where nobody loved me.
Oh, this is a rich, rich tapestry.
So, Ayushi and I are school friends, okay? And Ayushi knows my history with all the boys that I have loved, and none of them have loved me back.
Rytasha really liked really tall, slim people.
Not always. I had this big history of like, I love this boy, he don't love me back. So I was in a full circle of this till I went to college, and that was the defining one because okay, school ka pyar alag hai, college ka pyar phir bhi you feel a little more, it's a little more valid, it's a little more intense, the feeling. So when it happened to me...
So you went to college outside of India?
Yeah, I studied in Singapore. So I fell in love with my classmate in Singapore, and I just adored him. I was like, ye banda best hai, mere ko isse shaadi karni hai.
See, again, even when you were out there being progressive, your next thought was marriage. Straight.
So then it was like, oh shit, he don't like you, he likes your classmate, one other hot girl. I was like, oh shit, Rits tu to gayi, kaam se gayi. So then I was like, F this shit. I'ma take matters into my own hands. So I put myself on Tinder. Because what else do you do as a chubby girl who has never been liked by the opposite sex? I put myself on Tinder. And that's where I was coming back to that main point. I went on so many Tinder dates in 1.5 years. I was voraciously Tindering for 1.5 years, but never got to a point of hook up with anybody. Text, meet, chill, go home.
So you fall into trope 4, which is text and failure.
By meet, friendship, that's what I want to add in this one trope also. I took away something valuable from each and every one of those meetings.
And accidental friends.
Exactly. I
have a lot of those.
Yeah. One accidental friend I made, and then one guy was like, acha, listen to this music. Then one guy was like, read this short story. So ऐसे ना अलग-अलग लोगों से मैंने ढेर सारी चीजें सीख भी ली है, मैंने अपना ली है. So it was not a failure as such.
But I said this in the start. I'm using the word failure because that's what you say. However, I don't think it's a failure. I think what I'm trying to insinuate by saying failure is that you're moving apart from each other. Now you're moving in opposite directions. That's what I mean by it. But if you can think of a better word, let me know. We can use that instead.
Partition? No, that's...
No, please. It's too close to election to use those words. Okay, so dating. So this was your foray into Tinder.
Yeah.
And you found that you got a great... It was a learning experience for you.
Yeah, to say the least. But I still didn't learn how to kiss or give blowjob. Ye sab maine nahi sikha.
But they don't teach you that on Tinder.
I know, but Ayushi, you learn it in real life when you go out and hook up with people. No.
Yeah, but the first time you have to figure it out. It's a mess regardless.
I got it. So yeah, I learned the hard way eventually.
The hard way.
I see what you did there.
I know.
Yeah, but Tinder se maine ye sab nahi sikha.
I just got a ridiculous story out of my Tinder date.
Please tell. I know it. But, I'll still react like ha ha ha.
Quickly, this is, I think, one of the best things that has ever happened to me in terms of giving me a story. Met this guy on Tinder and we decided to meet up for a coffee that turned into drinks. So, you think when coffee turns to drinks, oh, this is going well. Like you're here for a long period of time. We're sitting at a table and suddenly he seems to recognize someone behind me. And he says, oh, I know that girl. And so I said, oh, do you want to go, you can go over and say hi. And he says, no. And he seemed very cagey about it. So I was like, okay, won't, pry. And then he says, I guess this is good as a time to tell you why I don't want to see her. And then he tells me that he is writing this online series of 10 Tinder dates in the city.
What a guy.
And I was number 8.
What a guy. You are number 1 in my heart, firstly.
I was obviously number 1. But in general, please, I read the entire series as a low bar. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is he was writing about all of us and none of us had any idea. And the only reason I found out was because, get this, the girl behind was Tinder date number 5 or 6. And obviously he didn't call her back. So he didn't want to go say hi. And I was just sitting there thinking, oh my God, he's going to be writing about this. And quickly, consent. This falls under the box of consent. Yeah. You have to let someone know that you're doing this, I feel.
At least after the date, make them sign an NDA or something. Not an NDA, like what is that form called? You give your consent kind of form. Release form.
It's
release
an NDA
form.
only, no? Yeah. Non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah, okay, please. You listen to me. Whoever you did this to, it's very bad behavior on your part. You can't do shit like that.
But anyways, that was a hilarious story out of sitting there and realizing that this person is now making mental notes.
You became
about
a number, Ayushi.
I became a statistic. I became a statistic.
Yes.
That you read about. Oh, also a couple of weeks later, he sends me the link to my article.
ये ले पढ़, मैंने क्या लिखा है तेरे बारे में?
No, legit. And it's unbelievable to be able to see yourself from someone else's eyes, because I didn't know how I was on a date, but he very nicely
What did
told
he
me.
say about you? Or what are you like on a date?
Bas to main to flawless ही हूँ.
Of course.
No, but one line that stuck with me clearly, because it's been years and that's still that one line sticks with me, is he questioned whether he was attracted to me or he was just attracted to the fact that we had very similar backgrounds.
Ooh, this is
which I think was I have to give him that. That was a very interesting line. And I think it's an interesting thing even with dating now we can talk about, is that don't confuse attraction to the bigger picture as attraction to the focal point, which is that person.
Right.
I think we often make that mistake, especially when you're dating in the same social circles, in the same social class.
Yeah.
We confuse it with, he knows all of my friends.
Correct. He has the same interests. We want to travel to the same places. We love
all
the same
studied
music.
abroad. We studied in the same schools in Bombay. Maybe this is meant to be. But
is it though? We don't know. I mean,
but we can get back on track.
Yes.
Online dating. So you've done Tinder.
I'll tell you what else I've done. I will just tell you. I signed up on a website called OkCupid also when I was in college.
No,
Tinder
you didn't.
and OkCupid both.
You didn't tell me about OkCupid.
Because that was very short-lived and I have told you about it because there's some tea about that I can't spill on air. But anyway, nothing happened from OkCupid also. That was a very dodgy kind of interface. So I used to feel a little unsafe there. So I used to just receive messages, read them and be like, no, I'm not meeting anybody. So OkCupid se maine kisi ko nahi mila.
Okay.
But
I was on Bumble briefly.
Oh, how's that?
I met someone on Bumble.
On Biz, BFF or date?
Date. I have enough BFFs. Biz, though, it's too much work on my plate right now. But it was on date, whatever you call it. And I went for one of the dates. And so here's the thing. I know that there's a lot of people that are going to feel insulted when I say this. However, in the spirit of honesty, he was a vegetarian. So when I went there, and he didn't want to order family style. So we ordered 2 starters and 2 mains. And we didn't share, or there was no hey, how's your meal? And I don't know, as someone that eats a lot,
it's tough.
It was tough for me to go through that.
My sympathies are with you. I really do feel for you.
And I'm not saying that that's why I never called him back or he never reached out. Maybe
but
there were other things.
That's definitely one of the reasons. No?
Because in my mind, I was just so what will we talk about?
Because when he says biryani, Ayushi, he don't mean mutton
or
chicken.
Pulao.
He means pulao. तो अभी उसके साथ क्या इश्क लड़ाओगे? Sorry.
And he's the kind of person who will be oh yeah, I love chicken wings. And I was oh, so you eat chicken? And then he's no, the vegan ones. And I was matlab check lao, abhi check lao.
But
bring it.
In the interest of giving people another chance and maybe not being so judgmental on one small thing.
Agreed, I should have gone. But then someone else came in the picture. So then I decided maybe it's not good to double date.
Never. No, never.
And the new one was a non-vegetarian. So it was, it was easier. for me.
Fair enough. But in terms of the environment, if you ever date a vegetarian, listeners also, don't like judge them. If you are a vegetarian, you date a non-vegetarian, don't judge them.
Yes, that's true. Everyone makes their own choices, and
that should not be a deal breaker, because that means if you ever have kids one day, if you choose to have kids, those kids can choose whether they want to eat meat or not. And I personally want to become vegetarian in life, but that is a bigger conversation.
Off topic completely.
Thank you, Ayushi, for keeping me in check.
Because now we're talking about vegetarianism, and you're saying that you want to become, and then it's making me question our friendship. So let's not do that on it.
You're so mean. You tell now what we should talk about now. Then more dating things.
No, but I'm saying between us, we've been on 3 dating apps.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Dude, they're lovely. एक तो attention मिल रहा है.
Also, the stigma around dating apps needs to stop, man.
I think it has kind of reduced now. Don't you think? I myself was freaking out before I put myself on Tinder. I was like, oh, I am the biggest loser on earth. मेरे से कोई प्यार नहीं करता. मैं इतनी बुरी नौबत आ गई. I am on Tinder and all. But also I was on Tinder 4 years ago. So it has been a considerable amount of time.
Yes, I was on Tinder many years
ago. I used to feel very sad, and I have only stigmatized myself. And I was like, no.
Which is that line that you said you just stigmatized yourself. That's kind of like the byline of a lot of the problems in your life, Dash.
What? I have just stigmatized.
Means I have only created this problem for myself.
Everything everyone has created for themselves somewhere, no? Nope.
But okay, dating again. We have conversational ADD. I don't think it's that bad. I think what dating apps have done for us now is that they've exposed us to a new set of people.
Absolutely, because actually in your day-to-day life,
where do you
on
meet
earth
people?
Are you going to meet these people?
And if you don't meet someone at work and you don't meet someone in your friendship group, what are you supposed to do? I don't like to talk to people at the gym.
No.
And don't talk to me on my commute either. That's my time. So how else am I supposed to meet people?
And nobody's picking up nobody at bars. That is not a concept India.
Another line. No one is doing this. And I know that I'm an attractive person. Why is no one buying me free drinks?
This is my main question now. Whenever we go to a bar, why does nobody want to buy any of us drinks?
And the one time someone bought me a drink, they lingered for so long that I abandoned the drink.
One time a very creepy uncle offered to buy a drink for me.
Uncles offer all the time, man.
Damn creepy.
Uncles, man. Like Sansa said, uncle, please sit down. Please, leave me alone.
Please be quiet. No, what did she say? Just
she
sit
said
down.
Sit down.
That was the best moment of the finale episode.
Agreed. But so I think it's important to realize that you don't need to feel the judgment of just because you're online dating, like you said, that, it's woe is me, it's come down to this, and now I have to online date.
There's no need to be,
I think online dating is the best way now to meet people because 100%. You get to see this little file of facts about them, what do they like, are they funny,
we live in such a digital world now. You are more likely to find out more gossip and scoop about them from all the various talking you will do about them than you will if you go on the first date. And if they're not sharing heart to heart with you.
Also, what's really cool about Bumble, and I should say we're not being paid by any of these people.
Please, nobody's paying us. You are free to pay us.
If you want, you can. Is that the girls have to reach out. It does. I like that in the sense it gave me a level of control over the situation. However, I have to say mad props to any guy who has ever reached out to any girl or guy on the internet. It is so hard. I don't know how you guys do it. How do you come up with a line that's more creative than, hey, what's up?
Yeah, usually if their bio is interesting, then at least you have something to play with.
Yeah, that's what I try to make a pun.
Yeah, lovely. I to just swipe left to people who have not written a bio. I'm like, you don't have time to explain to me who you are in 2 lines, so you are not worth my time.
But maybe they're thinking they can't be summed up in just 2 lines.
Oh, ho, ho.
It's a lie. If they don't have anything swiped, they're a murderer. Straight up. So, alright, so that's online dating. Do you think you approach dating differently though now as opposed to when you were younger? Is there different things that you're looking for now? Obviously, but what is that?
So, when you are younger, I guess it's just that, all my friends have boyfriends, everybody's dating, it seems so alluring, I also want.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's more like, when I do have time for it, I'm just going to say this now on air, I am currently in a pretty serious relationship.
Oh my God.
Pretty serious. But फिर भी in this boat also, sometimes I'm like, dating seems fun. Just this idea of casual dating and what I would want from these dates now if I were to go on dates. I would just want to meet cool people who I can learn something from, have a great conversation with, all of that stuff.
So that's what Bumble BFF is for.
Correct.
They need to pay us. No, but I think that it's interesting that you said that, you date because you see, when you're younger, it's because you see so many people around you in a relationship. Which is different is that now you're not looking for that. You're kind of looking for companionship because you're pretty solid by yourself.
Exactly.
Which I think is something that's important before you get into dating is, as advice, I think be kind of set with who you are. Like be okay with who you are and what you bring to the table. Because if you project that onto the relationship or the date being like, oh, I'm dating because I'm looking for something to complete me, you are never going to find anything.
Yeah, it's like you have a cup that's full of a nice beverage, alcoholic perhaps, and I have a cup which is also full of a nice beverage. Our cups are full. And then we meet and then we can share those cups, You don't come to me with a half cup. I don't come to you with a half cup, being like, fill my cup. No, you can't.
This cup metaphor is I'm not getting it exactly, but I see what you mean.
Yeah. Just be full in yourself. What you are saying, I said with alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages.
All right. But I get it. In the sense, don't look for something necessarily to fulfill yourself in the opposite person.
Absolutely.
That's kind of
what has changed in a big way as you grow up, I suppose. Even now that I'm 26 and in this relation, some days I'm like, do I even need this? Because we are constantly evolving. Like every day, now I feel more than ever since 25 hit, I am changing more and more every day. I am becoming more and more aware about myself, becoming more aware about my patterns and my life. Bas, back to square one.
A little throwback to our last episode.
I was such an adult today. I just want to share. I packed a tiffin and I came here. Yeah. I packed a tiffin. It's a big deal.
You know what? No, that's baby steps where I applaud that. 100%.
Thank you.
All right, Tash, let's take a quick break in the middle here. This seems like the right point. We'll come back in a few.
Hey everybody, welcome to another great week on the IVM podcast. It's been a really fun week. Also, just a reminder, if you're not following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. One thing that we are trying to do as much of as possible, and we want to keep doing this, is if you hear something that you really enjoy, take a screenshot of it and tag us on whatever social media platform you prefer, and we'll try and repost that. If you want to keep your listening light and funny this week, check out shows like Cyrus Says, Golgappa, and the Empowering series. On Cyrus Says, Cyrus talks to hosts of another IVM show, Football Shitball, Gaurav Sapre, Kartik Iyer, and Sivram Padmanabhan. Tune in to listen to some fun conversation about sports, advertising, and Bollywood. On Golgappa, Trupti is joined by cinematographer Milind Zog, who shares rip-tickling stories from his shoots. And on the Empowering series, Zarina is joined by comedian Suresh Menon. They talk about his early days in comedy, his chemistry with Jose, and how he started Khan Masti. If politics and policy is what's going to really get you going this week, then check out The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma. He's joined by Roshan Kishore, data and political economy editor at Hindustan Times. They talk about data journalism. On our Kannada podcast, Thale Harate, Dr. H.S. Sudhira joins Pawan Srinath to discuss mapping technologies, GPS tracking, and its implications in Bengaluru. If you want to hear more in the branding or business space, then you should listen to Paisa Vaisa. Anupam talks to Gaurav Rastogi, CEO and founder of Kuvera, about behavioral aspects of investing. On the Pragati podcast, which is normally a fairly political show, this time Pawan talks to Deepak Shenoy. Deepak is the founder and CEO of Capital Mind and one of the foremost experts on the Indian stock market. On Advertising is Dead, Varun is joined by the brand advocacy head at Diageo, Khushbu Binani. And on Simplified, Chuck and Shrikhet talk to the founder of Cube Wealth, Satyan Kothari. Satyan's a really fun guy to talk to, and he's got a lot of insights in this space. If you didn't get enough of Gaurav, Karthik, and Siva on Cyrus Says, then check them out talking on Football Shitball, where they discuss the Juventus versus Napoli game and the transfer deadline drama. But with that, let's get you on with the show.
Welcome back to Dating, where we talk about mostly my misadventures. And let's get back in. You know how you said you just said it, was that even though you're in a serious relationship now, you sometimes wonder what it could be like to date and casually date outside. But this is a grass is always greener thing.
Perhaps.
Because as someone who's single, there's no good way of saying this without sounding like I'm some despo who's looking to date.
She's not a despo. I will vouch for this. She's not a despo.
Correct. My cup is full.
She is only the cup. Bangin' cup.
Yes, and my alcoholic beverage is to the brim.
Overflowing.
Sometimes, but it's fun. Here's the thing. Even though I see you in a relationship and then there are certain things about that I desire in my life, it's not so much the relationship as it is the companionship that you perhaps have.
Correct.
That's nice.
So, can I just spin on this, what you
Yeah,
said
of
right
course.
now? It's like when you are a child, you always have your friends and all your building friends hai, school. Jahan bhi hai, aapke paas aas-paas dost hai. And your friends also have heaps of time for you. And you have heaps of time for them and all that is happening. Slowly as you grow up, your sense of community becomes smaller, I feel.
Right.
Mine has become smaller from like an entire class being like a kind of a community.
Because you don't have time for every single person anymore.
Exactly. So then in such situations, now that you're when you grow up, having one person who has your back no matter what is just such a comforting feeling.
That I think is what I would look at people in a relationship and desire. Is that there's someone constantly in your corner that's not my mom and dad.
Exactly. Bas, wahi hai.
Because they are perfect, brilliant, and they're always in my corner, but they're always in my space.
They are your parents. At the end of the day, parents are like the best, but also don't irritate me, please.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I think that's what you're looking for, is that companionship, some sort of support, and it's really a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All the other stuff.
Like regular everything happens. And
on the regular.
On the reg, yeah.
It's a lot of stress release.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of stress.
Pent up, which comes out in different ways.
Stress.
Release.
I think we've been pretty direct.
She's talking about sexy time.
I don't know what you're talking about, Rytasha. I have never indulged in anything like that ever in my life. JK. Okay. So, do you think that when you're looking for a relationship or when you're dating, can it just be that you're casually dating for that amount of time and that you then maybe want to take it to a relationship? I just want people to know that every relationship doesn't have to end
up in a relationship. Correct.
I think you can have successful relationships without them being, or a successful dating life.
Yeah.
Without it ending up in a relationship. That's what I'm trying to say.
Should we call it a dating ship?
Yeah.
The courtship yahi hua na ki wo log.
Oh, okay. Hey, listen, if we eventually, I'm sure we have listeners and they're going to write in, I hope. I have a question. I have been discussing this with the last person that I was seeing or whatever, is that what are the stages of this dating? And when does it become that now we are in a relationship? Or that first thing, we're texting, we're seeing each other, yeah, we're dating.
It's casual, yeah, we have no labels. Kya hai?
Hey, by the way, just as a word of advice, put labels, man. Labels really help. You know why? And I'm sick of people telling me, I don't need labels because like they really contain me in these boxes. And like I feel free. F*** off. You are going to be crying later when you realize that you have no idea of where you stand and what the future of your relationship or dating is going to be. And I'm not saying this as an angry way. I'm saying this as you should talk about your dating. Talk about it.
5,000%.
Talk about where you are. Because you can be in the same book, but if you're in different chapters,
pages, yeah.
Bitch, you tripping.
This is exactly actually what usually ends up happening. No, both parties, मतलब ये party कुछ और सोच रहा है और ये party सोच रही है शादी बच्चे. Me, I'm just talking about myself, not necessarily
Please say
that.
about yourself, yeah.
I'm talking about myself. But yeah, that's what happens. Like both people have different expectations from this relationship, or they have different output goals or whatever. In that, there's the major up.
So I think
you have to address it and talk about it.
Yes, and this is an adult thing to do.
Exactly.
Let's put this in the adult tip. Be an adult and confront that person, whoever the opposite person is, and ask them, listen, do you see this as something as A or B or C, whatever your options are? And get some clarity. There's no harm. You are not clingy. You will not seem like you're crazy. And if they think that you are crazy for asking a very bare minimum,
dump their
leave
ass
right now.
Run
leave
away.
Yesterday.
Run away.
Oh, also maybe just give them time to think about it also maybe.
Yeah, fair. Just have a reasonable conversation
but
because that's what adults do.
Yeah, and I think if you go into dating with that idea that I'm going to have a respectful communication with whatever this is and however it's going to go, you're going to have a much better time with it. You're not going to feel that it's such a struggle or that nothing seems to be working out and they all seem to be ending in the same inferno.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't take it, again, with the same thing as adulthood. Don't take anything too seriously. Even this dating stuff, don't take it too seriously. If he's not like if he or she or they or whoever is not texting you, or if they've ghosted or whatever, which happens on the regular, I'm sure. Like it has happened to people. It's happened to me also. Like people just like fall off.
I have ghosted people.
You have ghosted people. I have ghosted one, two
and
people.
I think that ghosting is not nice. I think that it was a bad thing for me to do. I just didn't know how to end that situation, and then I just stopped replying.
Yeah. So with age comes wisdom. So inshallah,
I won't do it again.
Correct.
I think it's disrespectful to do that to someone.
Yes.
Specifically if they're reaching out to you. And anyway, I'm so sorry.
I want to talk about like just this. I just want, like, you tell me the first date, like after you've been texting on this social media app or whatever. Oh my God,
it's so much fun.
And then you go on this date. What's it like?
Okay, I think it's different. If you've met the person, if you've known the person before and you're meeting them for the first time in the context of a date, it's different as opposed to you've never met this person before and you're dating. Your first date is your first encounter. Yeah. I think they're both. I enjoy dating as a person. Let me just put it out there. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. You get to meet a lot of interesting people and you get so many stories out of it, guys. Content is king. So many likes.
And they'll all follow you on Insta, na? Ek by ek. Whoever you've dated, you'll like start following them. They'll follow you back. So you have increased your followers.
Yes.
God, that's so sad. That's not why
I'm not dating for followers. However, I do think that, okay, so if you've met the person before and the first time you're dating them, that has happened, and I'll tell you, there is a little bit of nervousness there. Because you're transitioning from perhaps a friendship to a little bit more, and you're both kind of anxious about, are you sure you want to risk it? Always risk it for the biscuit. Biscuits are very tasty.
Chocolate biscuit.
Nice, long, tasty biscuits. However, there is a little bit of anxiety there, but what's really cool about that situation is that you know each other. So the minute you have maybe the first beverage, whatever it is, and you cut yourself a little bit of slack, you don't have to be on guard, is that you know this person. They know who you are. You don't have to start from scratch. And you can go off common experiences. You can talk about mutual friends. And then that conversation organically, it flows. And then the reason why you liked each other steps right in. Yeah. And then you find that, this is why we're on this date now.
Yeah.
This is that sync that we have, and that's why we're going to maybe take this to the next level or explore that possibility.
Lovely. And sometimes you can feel the same level of kind of connection if you've been, say, texting this person for a long time and then you finally meet, and then on text you're like, yeah. And then in real life also it's like, oh yeah, it matches.
But I think the other one is also exciting, where you don't know the person from Adam and you're meeting them for the first time. I know that some of my friends always say that's so nerve-wracking. You don't know the person at all. I say, take the stress off the table. You don't know anything.
Exactly.
And they don't know anything about you other than what you're putting out online.
You can walk in and be like, my name is Mandira and I am a fashion designer, and they'll be like, sure, I believe you.
No, you're advocating lying. Don't do that.
Don't lie.
Don't lie. About your name, about your job, nothing.
Don't lie.
You're not a spy.
But I just, for your own excitement. And then you can tell them later, I was just like, kidding.
No, that's crazy person. This is why I told you, don't give relationship advice. If you go on a date and someone says that they are something and then 20 minutes in says that they were lying, leave.
Please ignore me.
Stiff them with the check and leave.
Yes, sorry.
That's creepy.
But then after this date and also after one date, then 2 dates, kabhi na kabhi to मामला physical बातों पे आता होगा, right? Where does this idea of, not idea, the consent is key statement. We have been, anyway, consent is key. We all know this. It's important. It is very important. But now if you are on this date, you have gone on this date with, say, person A.
Okay.
And person A has been great on the first date, great on the second date, lovely on the third date. You're just like, oh my God, I want to kiss you right now. How much do we, in such a situation, have to navigate the idea of consent? Like, do you want him to ask you, shall I kiss you right now? Or are you going to just be like, I'm going to kiss you now and just go for it? Kya hota kya hai?
This is, okay, this is an interesting point, definitely. Okay. Do not ask in this kind of lame flop sort way, hey, can I kiss you now? Because nothing will ruin the mood more than that. I think, personally for me. But that also means do not see me in public and just come up and kiss me either.
No.
That's weird. However, I think it does come down to gauging the energy and the feeling that, come on, if you're on a third date with someone, at that point, you should have a good idea of whether that person is into you or not. Because the third meal that you've had, or the third time you've met, third movie, whatever it is, there has to be something that's calling this person back for the third interaction. So you've established that there's some sort of interest that's there between you. Now, unless this person is one of those like completely asexual, which I'm learning recently, that's also a thing.
Yeah.
So unless they are on that end of the spectrum, there is going to be some physical attraction there for sure. So I'd say if the situation organically comes up where you're next to each other, you're kind of close.
Some like casual grazing and hand touching.
Chemistry ho raha hai.
Right.
Then go for it.
Sense the mood.
Sense the mood and go for it. However, if someone recoils immediately,
that is a sign of not giving consent.
Or bad breath.
Huh.
But that is also not giving consent. So then step back and say, okay, look, I'm really sorry. Maybe I misjudged the situation.
Yeah.
I won't do that again.
Because consent is damn important at the end of the day.
Yes. And I think we should also say this is not entirely on just males.
Never.
I think
on
consent
everyone.
is for women as well. I have sometimes... Oh, this is so embarrassing. But I do feel like I have maybe in one situation made the person feel not unsafe, but maybe they didn't want to do anything at that point. Maybe I did. And I was more like, oh, wait, I think I've made you feel very unsafe in this situation. That was very embarrassing. Luckily, it didn't turn out like that way. They were totally in it. I just misread it. However, I think it's for females, males, whatever it is, be respectful of the other person's space. That's it. If they're into it, you will know and it'll go further. Next thing you know, you're all having some great releases. But yeah.
If you're not, then no problem also.
Acha, so shall we give them some top tips for dating?
I am no expert, so Ayushi is going to give them all to you today.
No, that's not true. It's just Rytasha's tips are very...
like, go and lie? Please don't listen to my tips. I am a fool.
Can't believe you told them to lie.
Never. It's just, because I'm an actor, so I also like, मैं role play करूँगी ना. मैं कर सकती हूँ, आप मत करो. Please.
आप भी मत करो, Rytasha.
मैं भी नहीं करूँगी. I am not going on any dates anytime soon.
All right. Tip number 1.
Yes.
Put yourself out there.
This is definitely the biggest thing. Yeah. Because आप कब तक डरोगे? आप कब तक like सोचोगे कि oh my god, I'm going to be weird for doing this, or should I really do this, or do I need to do this? Just do it. If you feel like you are ready for a romance in your life, or some casual dating, or some casual sex, whatever it is that you and your body and your mind needs, put yourself in a situation like that. Put yourself out there and be ready to receive
Invite that vibe into your life.
Yeah,
right.
It's the secret basically. Not really.
What a dumb book. Sorry to say.
LOL.
Second, don't be quick to judge.
We already discussed.
Case in point, vegetarians.
Veg. Yeah, हम जाएंगे हरा भरा कबाब खाएंगे और क्या.
But in general, don't judge someone for the job that they might have, or where they come from,
live, or
where they went to school,
yeah.
Who their friends are. You never know what that person is going to bring to your life. And at the end of the day, we're just a big puzzle, and these people are all just pieces. You have to keep adding to it to make the color a bit more vibrant.
I'm going to cry now at this beautiful
Please.
analogy you have given.
Jesus. This is what I meant in the last episode. This crying all the time.
And also recently, this is not like entirely related, but a quick detour.
Oh.
When you said about dating people in your same social background, similar kind of, that kind of like, we have so many things in common, being a reason why a lot of people date. I recently read an article about mixed collar relationships.
Holy shit.
And I didn't even know. Yeah, I didn't know this existed in America, obviously, because they have words for everything. So in America, they have written it is called a mixed collar relationship. And I was like, that's pretty interesting because we have never thought in that space.
Also pretty insulting.
Agreed. I also had a problem with it, but I was like, is that what it's called?
But,
I don't know.
we don't have to call it mixed collar.
Yeah.
I think we can just call it a mixed bag.
Mixed bag.
Like, shake the bag a bit and see which letter you draw out that day and go with that. See where it takes you.
Yes.
Number 3, which should also be number 3, 4, 5, 6. All of them should be consent is key.
Consent is key.
But also, confidence is sexy.
100%. 5,000%.
So let's put that in the same bucket. I think that's really important to put out there. Be confident about who you are and taking it maybe forward to the next level, because sometimes you could also be dating someone who's just like not doing anything to take it to the next level, and you're like,
come on. Chalo. Hop. No, not like that.
We sound like really repressed people.
I'm sounding like a sports coach and dating is a game and I'm like, chalo.
It is a game. But it's a fun game where literally everyone can win if you do it right.
Exactly. And there have to be no injuries if consent is kept in mind. That's
dark, but yes, true. Okay, number 4, which is my personal one. If you're online dating and the profile is only and only selfies, swipe no, left, whatever it is, I'm sorry. That's not working. It's 2019. You got to have more interest in yourself.
Agreed. And they also have, like, it's a thing, at least it was when I was on Tinder. Dudes used to love putting pictures with those drugged tigers in Thailand. I was like,
oh my God,
mat karo. Yeah, this tiger trend and look at me with like big cats and big cars and all. Don't do that
none
shit.
Of that.
Hame nahi dekhna hai, hame nahi interest.
Also, if you're taking a random selfie with a car, I can assure you, we all know it's not yours. You've seen it on the road and you're like, oh, Lamborghini dekha, selfie le lo. Like, I know it's not your Lambo.
Yeah. Selfie says,
rocking up to pick me up in that.
I wish. I'm not going to swipe right just for that. No.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, selfies, you have to have more interest than yourself.
And write a bio also. Please. Like, even if it's 1-2 words, just put the effort and write one bio. I have swiped so many people left, even though they're cute, because they've not written bios.
So also, if you say that Shantaram and like is your favorite book... Oh, you're so dumb.
Aage badho, Ayushi. Tell us the next point.
Okay, number 5.
Don't judge.
No, some judgment is okay. Come on, man. If you go on a date and the person tells you that their favorite book is The Secret, and they tell you, oh yeah, I really like literature. You know, I loved a book that moved me was A Kite Runner. It is 2019.
Ayushi, we have dear friends.
If Khalid Hosseini is the epitome of literature for you, leave.
They didn't have much access to more literature, maybe. Na theek hai, don't judge. Don't judge. Just tell us the next point. Ayushi, don't judge. No, Ayushi, don't judge.
I'm going on a bit of a rage
thing. She's a personal hatred she has against Kite Runner and all these books.
No, I loved it, but I was also like 17 and 18 when we read it.
Exactly. I was like,
you have
younger.
to evolve.
Yeah.
Probably younger still, I think, after he came up with so many. But Khalid's a great writer. I wish he was my friend. He paints pictures that are so vivid and move me in ways that are
not a book review.
But read more.
I will still say Harry Potter is my favorite book.
That's
off topic
fine.
Anyway. But yeah.
Yes, but...
See, now you can't judge. मैंने भी पढ़ा था जब मैं 16 साल की थी ना. चलो, आगे बढ़ो.
We can discuss this later.
We'll discuss later.
Number 5. And I said this before, I think is you got to kiss a lot of frogs before you find a prince, princess, whatever it is.
100%.
It is a numbers game. So...
My stomach is grumbling. I'm so hungry. Sorry, friends.
And number 6 is a personal tip. Hygiene is key.
Hygiene is तो इतना कि मतलब आप इस चाबी के बिना कोई ताला ना खोल पाओगे लाइफ में.
Before a date, quick things, super basic. Shower, brush your teeth, have some gum, comb your hair.
Yeah, and if you're going from work, do all those things, fake freshen up in the office bathroom and
it's totally possible.
Yeah.
We've all worked in many different working environments. Yeah. Everywhere has a bathroom and a sink.
And if you have reached the bar looking disheveled or wherever you're supposed to meet them, go to that bathroom and get yourself together.
Yes. Just because I think when you don't put in any effort to the other person is also saying that you didn't really care about this.
Yeah.
And I have spent a lot of time evaluating what I was going to wear. And you don't look like your bio. And you don't look like the pictures you put up.
Agreed.
You're lying to me.
And also one other point I want to add is in this game of texting, calling, waiting, who's going to make the move, this, that and the other, zyada caught up mat ho na. हाँ, मतलब थोड़ा chill करो. It's okay.
Yeah. Be chill. Wow, we're giving such terrible advice. Be chill. But
there are plenty of fish in the sea. The digital sea is full of them. If one guy is not replying, move on to the next.
Yeah, and women specifically, I don't think it's such a big deal if you reach out. If the person hasn't reached out after the next date, reach out and find out whether they're interested. Because maybe if they're not interested, then you save yourself some time instead of being ghosted.
Exactly.
I don't think that's nice.
No, that's not nice. You just take matters into your own hand. Na? Be confident, basically.
Correct. Okay, so that's top tips. Put yourself out there.
Wonderful.
Don't be quick to judge. Consent is key. Selfies are a big no. You got to kiss some frogs. Hygiene. Rytasha is holding her stomach right now.
It's grumbling so loudly. I'm on intermittent fasting, you know.
Okay, that's another episode. But, all right, tuning out.
Thank you, friends. Big love.
Bye.
Bye.
Are you looking for India's most awesome cricket podcast? Are you now tired of listening to the same old guys drone on about cricket everywhere? Edges and Sledges is a weekly cricket podcast hosted by 3 fans of the game, Varun, DJ, and myself, Ashwin. It was established in early 2018, has over 60 episodes now, and is of course now proud to be on the IVM Podcast Network. Each week, we get together from 3 different time zones, the USA, the UK, and Singapore, and we talk about things from the world of cricket, with a focus on Indian cricket. We often interview special guests from all around the world, including former cricketers and cricket media personalities. So check out Edges and Sledges, the cricket podcast, now on the IVM network.
This is the amazing story of something awesome. Once, Chuck decided to start a podcast, and so he did. The end. Okay, that was a crappy story. But I've got some really cool stories over at my new show, The Origin of Things. On this podcast, I look at the stories of how brands came into being and sometimes evolved out of quite unexpected circumstances. And to make it really fun, I reveal the name of the brand and sometimes a category only at the very end. The show is 5 to 7 minutes per episode and perfect for trivia junkies and brand nerds, especially those with short attention spans. New episodes out every Wednesday on IVM Podcasts app or website, or any podcast app or site that you happen to prefer. End of story, they lived happily ever after.